Midnight sun season is in full swing here in the Arctic, and the nights are now just as bright as the days. The whales are starting to come back and fill up the fjord, and the birds are making their presence well known from the mountaintops. Each season on Svalbard is as beautiful as it is challenging, and boy is the summer sun challenging my sanity. Every time a new season starts on Svalbard, my routine falls apart. Sometimes I feel like I spend more time planning and preparing for a daily routine than I do in the actual routine itself. Every season is so different, and it takes a while to adjust to the changes or to get a grip on the difficulty of it. If you're new here, my name is Cecilia and I live on Svalbard, an island close to the North Pole. We're currently in our polar day season, which means that we have 4 months of constant daylight. This may sound like a dream to many, but I'm starting to consider it the most difficult season of the year by how much it's messing with my body and mind. I've never been so in tune with my body as I've become after living on Svalbard for almost 8 years. We have to be. We live by the seasons and adjust accordingly, and sometimes we adjust better than other times.
Stretchy.
If you've been around on my channel for a while, you've been with me through a few of these seasons. You've seen me go through a polar night almost falling apart at the end of it, and then another polar night where I came out thriving. I find it fascinating just how much our surroundings affect how we feel, even when it's something as natural as the season. But what I also find fascinating is how much I can control how I get affected by just adjusting my mindset and making a good plan. This year, I've made some pretty big changes to how I live and what I prioritize, so I thought I would talk about it, in the hopes that maybe it motivates someone else at a time when they might need it. Starting with number 1. I am from now on sleeping according to the seasons. I should have listened to Christopher all along. He always said, it doesn't matter when you go to bed as long as you get the right amount of hours. And that is so true. During winter and the polar night, I find it very important to go to bed at a certain time because during that season, it's very easy to oversleep since it's so dark all the time. Then I restrict my sleep to certain hours to avoid sleeping the days away. During summer, however, we have a different problem. My body does not want to shut off. At the end of the day, your body isn't used to living in these kinds of conditions. Our circadian rhythm resets by the sun's day and night cycle. So what happens when there isn't one? Well, let's just say all of us living on these latitudes are like a live study on how not to break under the midnight sun. So the number 1 big change I've made in my routine is I don't sleep on my early sleeping schedule in summer. It's just impossible. Thankfully, I can adjust my working hours however I want, so the priority for me is to get 8 to 9 hours each night. But if that means going to bed at 2 a.m., so be it. The late evenings are so distractingly beautiful and bright that I just can't manage to get to bed at an early hour. My body and brain refuses to shut off before midnight, so I've stopped fighting it. The most important thing for me in summer is just to get those 8 to 9 hours, whenever it is. Just a quick little break in the video because this video is sponsored by CoPilot, which is an affordable fitness coach app where you get personalized workouts and support from a real person. And I'm pretty specific with my workout apps, and I've used many different ones. So I've been testing this out for the last month to see what I think about it. And I must say, I'm pretty impressed. What is different about CoPilot from other fitness services that I've used is that you get paired with a personal trainer that will help you on your fitness journey. I met with Isaiah, and after talking through what my goals were, he put together a workout plan for me and also talked me through everything I would need to know about the app. He asked what kind of equipment I had at home, if I preferred working out at home or at the gym, and took all of my information into consideration to tailor my program perfectly for me. Not only was Isaiah a total professional, but he was also really nice, and he made me feel so comfortable and really excited about reaching my goals. I think a good workout is all about going into it with a plan. You need to know what you're doing in order to challenge yourself and get results. The CoPilot workouts planned by experts does all of that for you. For each exercise, there's a video so you can see the correct form, which I think is so important. And if you're ever unsure about your form, you can send your trainer a video of you doing that exercise in the CoPilot chat to get feedback. The chat is also used to talk to your trainer, and what I really appreciated from Isaiah was the motivating messages he would send daily. It really made me feel supported and inspired.
Cecilia, how you doing? Just wanted to hop on here really quickly and give you some feedback, but first and foremost, just want to congratulate you on getting that first CoPilot workout in. I just love to see it. So awesome job there.
That was such a good workout. I am so sweaty. I've really enjoyed working with CoPilot and Isaiah over the last month, and I think the workouts have been so good. To check out CoPilot, click the link in the description or use the QR code on screen to get 14 days for free with your own expert health and fitness coach. And thank you so much to CoPilot, and let's get back into the video. Freaking, vill du komma? Kom då, halvvägs så tar vi hjälp för dig. It's 15 degrees today, which is officially our warmest day this year so far.
Well,
This feels like summer.
wow.
This is how I feel like Swedish summer feels when it's like 30 degrees in Sweden.
But then it's too warm.
Yeah. But it's crazy what a difference it makes. Like just because we never have 15 up here, 15 here feels like 30. But the sun is way warmer. I don't know.
Yeah, but the air is cold.
Oh my gosh, I'm not wearing sunscreen. Oh no. It shouldn't be that strong here though if we're thinking how far away from the equator we are. Isn't it the strongest at the equator?
I don't know.
Because I went to Brazil and almost burned my face off. The sun strongest equator. Sun stronger near equator. Yeah, baby. The sun rays are strongest at the equator where the sun is most directly overhead, and where UV rays must travel the shortest distance. And since we are hella far away from the equator, because it just goes, but here it's like, Number 2, exercise. This is something that has been one of my big focuses this year to get back to feeling my best. Not only doing it, but also being consistent. You know just how much I talk about the benefits of exercise, and not only for your body, but for your mind and overall well-being. But sometimes it has been difficult to fit it in my schedule. This year, however, I put it as a priority over work. Work can wait until I've gotten my exercise, whether it's a walk or half an hour on my spin bike or an hour at the gym. I work and function better when I move my body. I also want to be strong. I want to be able to lift heavy things, and I want to be able to go on long hikes. And this year, I even ran my first half marathon in over 10 years. The biggest thing I did was decide to make it a bigger priority than my biggest everyday task, which right now is work. I often get asked what kind of workouts I do, and it really is a lot of different things. But my main things are low impact cardio like my spin bike, which I love, and compound movements with my weights, like in my CoPilot workouts. So squats, deadlifts, lunges, which have really built my strength up. What kind of exercise each person should do is very individual, and since I'm not a personal trainer, I can't really tell you what you should do. But what I do know is that any movement is good. So if going on a walk is where you start, it's the perfect start. you've made it to the top now. I think this is the top. The question is, where is the box where you sign your name? We're gonna go up the last bit and see if it's here, because if it's further up, I ain't going. I'm not the biggest fan of heights and loose rocks. So we shall see. We shall see. It's taken us 49 minutes. Pretty darn good. Well, this was steep. Fan är postboxen. Är den där uppe? Nej. Kan ju inte vara. This is as far as I'm gonna go because it's too steep and I think it's scary because it's so slippery. I don't know if there's a post box up here, but maybe somewhere. I'm not gonna sign my name in it today. So sad. What a view! Look. This is what life is about, and this is what seriously makes me so happy. Just going outside and, hiking and just being in the beautiful weather, and it's just peaceful, beautiful, and nature. So a lot of flies here today though. It's because it's 16 degrees or 17 degrees. Everything is just hatched. They all just went like, morning. Good, hello, summer. Wow, the view from here. Look at this. Okay, let's go down. I'm not sure how, but probably scooting on my booty. That brings me to point number 3, getting out of the house. As someone who works from home, this one is surprisingly difficult for me. To find a reason to leave our cozy home that has everything I need is not easy. I'm not a person with a big friend group either, and my island bestie Lynn is out working on a boat at the moment, so she isn't in town. So I kind of have to find a reason to leave, and I generally don't. But I've been getting better, and I've noticed a huge difference from it. Whether it's going to the gym, getting a coffee with a friend, or going on a hike, it makes me feel connected with the world. There's also no better way to get perspective on life than spending time in nature. When I go on a hike, nothing else feels important, and I focus on only that. The sounds of the glacier streams, birds chirping, Grim being super happy and having the time of his life. Whenever I feel overwhelmed, stressed, or unmotivated, I go outside, because nature solves most of it for me. When I get back home, I have a clearer mind and a better perspective. Number 4, really figure out what makes you happy and do more of it. And this category holds a lot of topics, like keeping people around you that are energy givers and not takers. You and your friends should add value to each other's lives, and recognizing when a friendship isn't good for you is so important. Another thing is to spend your time wisely. Since I work with social media and already spend a good amount of time either thinking about it or creating content, I often take time off from scrolling. Social media can be so much fun, but sometimes scrolling can end up feeling almost addicting, where I can barely put down my phone without feeling some sort of boredom, so I put my phone away. What is so good about all of our boat adventures is that most of them are spent without cell phone reception. But when I'm home, I do my work for the day and that's it. I then spend the rest of that time doing things I actually love, like reading. Reading is one of my biggest escapes for me and my brain. Books take me into a different universe the way a TV series or film has never been able to, and I can sit and read for hours and hours on end. I'm currently devouring Sarah J. Maas' Throne of Glass series, and one of my favorite book recommendations are Stoner by John Edward Williams, a truly gorgeous book. And the last and final point, nutrition. Food is fuel. We all know food is such an important part of overall well-being and achieving your fitness goals, but that doesn't make it easy. I find nutrition to be way harder than exercise in terms of getting it right. But whether it's being able to walk a mile or run half a marathon, we all need to fuel our bodies. It can be difficult to know what to do, and it's also very individual. So if you're on a fitness journey, the best thing is to work with a professional. Since I started making an effort with my nutrition, I have felt so much stronger and I've had so much more energy, both for daily life and for my workouts. So what big changes did I make? Well, first of all, I made sure to eat enough and spread out throughout the day. 3 proper meals and some snacks in between. I don't believe in diets or any sort of restricted eating. I eat what makes me feel good, which includes bread, fruits, dairy, pasta, whatever it is that works for me. I also make sure to get enough protein in and drink lots of water. And of course, lots of coffee. Nobody could ever take that away from me. So to summarize, what changes I've made this year is basically that I've worked on balance in my life. Prioritizing myself over work, making sure to do what makes me happy. I spent less time on things that drain me from energy, and I've worked towards my goals. Whatever those goals have been, I've done it with a plan. I do love me a good plan. Now, for this evening activity, I have a workout to do, so that is what I will end this video with today. Let me know what your favorite feel-good routines are in the comments, and I hope you have an amazing day, and thank you so much for being here. Today I had a full body workout on my CoPilot schedule, and I decided to take my evening workout outside into the gorgeous 11 degrees and sunshine. These are 14 kilos. If there's one thing that I've really noticed since using CoPilot is that I'm doing the workouts that I normally would have decided not to do. Knowing that I have a trainer waiting to give me feedback on my workout gives me the accountability I need to get the workout done. And really, at the end of the day, that is what it's all about, staying consistent. Just in the time I worked with Isaiah, I've been more consistent with my fitness, I've upped my weights on almost all my exercises, and I've gotten better at slowing down my workouts and not rushing through them. Pretty good improvements if you ask me. To check out CoPilot, head to the link in the description or scan the QR code on screen to get 14 days for free with your own trainer to work on your health and fitness goals. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Oh, this requires concentration. I can't wait for the whales to come. Oh.